It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS.
I'm Steve Gorman. This is the KQ Morning Show. It is Wednesday, November the 22nd. If you are over 60 years old, you're going, November 22nd. Yeah, 60 years since JFK in Dallas. We had a great conversation yesterday with Rob Reiner, of all people, and Soledad O'Brien about their new podcast about JFK. I'm still buzzing about it. If you missed any part of the show, get the KQRS 92 KQRS app and check it out. Today on the show, I think it's important that I start with a quote from a man I respect greatly that sets the tone, I think, for the national the national feel, the vibe right now. That man's name is Brian Zepp, and Brian Zepp told me via text message, there's something comforting about holiday crazy. It's special crazy.
Well, you
I think we can all agree.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we can all agree. You take the crazy that you're walking around with, and we're all walking around with a certain amount of crazy, and then you add what the experts call birth family back into your crazy pot, and oh man, does the what do we say? The crap hits the fan, if you will. And it doesn't even have to be your family so much. A couple of stories right here off the top of the day. I mean, the holidays are upon us. From now until sometime in January, it's like a downhill sprint of crazy. And now Christmas trees can kill you. Now it's not your uncle, it's not your stepmom, it's not your grandchildren under your feet everywhere you try to go. The Christmas tree that we're all about to go purchase can kill us. And a woman in Cleveland just found this out because there is something called Christmas tree syndrome, ladies and gentlemen. And this is not where the tree falls on you. It's not where you decide to shove a branch of the tree down your throat. No, it's that there's a mold that grows on a Christmas tree if it gets wet. Oh. Now, think about the Christmas tree lots, you see, where they're selling trees. They're set up for weeks in advance, and it rains a lot during this time of year, or it snows a lot during this time of year, and trees get wet. And there is mold that can and often does grow on Christmas trees when those trees get wet. And about 7% of us are somewhat allergic to that mold, and for some of us, super allergic to that mold. A woman in Cleveland just bought, for the first time in her life, a real Christmas tree. After being rushed to the ER, it was a shot of epinephrine that saved her life because she started to swell up. Her face swelled up. Her throat closed. She couldn't breathe. Full-on anaphylactic shock because of her Christmas tree.
Her name's Angie. Here she is talking about it.
My face is quite swollen.
I felt like I was going to swallow it, but then I couldn't swallow and my throat was closing up. I never in a million years imagined that a Christmas tree would contain something that could kill me.
Was it?
No, probably not.
I mean, figuratively speaking, sure, there are people who, as they're setting the Christmas tree up, as they're decorating the tree, their anxiety level skyrocketing because they're like, oh, the in-laws are going to be here. My cousin's going to be here. That weird kid with the extra toe from the neighborhood might stop by. Who knows what we're thinking about. But I mean,
spot, right, the tree.
Sure.
You gotta turn it more. That's got that weird bald spot on it. Yeah.
My family, we have had Christmas tree, not Christmas tree wars, not even battles, but there's been Christmas tree ennui, stress, anxiety, because we try to involve the kids. We get the tree, and literally before a light has been strung, my kids will be like, no, that's not the best side. No, spin it. No, come over here and look at it. And then at some point it dawns on me like, oh, they're just totally jerking my chain. And then it turns into a Simpsons episode.
The National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. You remember the old tree stands where you just had to screw in the 4 screws? I think we still have one of those out at the farm, where you bring in the 4 screws from each side, and then you get it all standing up there, and they go, it's crooked. It's leaning. Oh, well, you can't. Now they have those cool ones where you can kind of put it around there and sit it in, and then just kind of you hit a pedal like you're opening a garbage can, and you can rock it around. But back in the day, you'd have to unloosen the 4 screws, kind of tilt it in one direction.
Sure.
And that was like a 3-hour process. And at some point, I'm like, it's the tree. It'll be a little crooked. Why don't we just put more decorations on one side of the tree and try and balance it? But yeah, the Christmas tree fiasco. But when you get it looking right, when it's rocking.
Sure.
You know, and you're showing it to the world right there in the big bay window. It feels good.
Between the over dry turkey and then the tree that that gets too dry and drops all of its needles and has bald spots, this next month is just fraught. I mean, that's just all there is to it. Tony, let me ask you this: with all respect and about my own ignorance,
of course,
is there such a thing as Hanukkah drama? See, I mean, I can remember family fights around the Christmas tree. You light the menorah; it seems like everybody's cool. Am I wrong?
Are you kidding me? Jewish guilt? It's spectacular, and it's 8 days worth.
Oh,
no,
sure.
I know what you mean, though. It is not traditionally like the incidents that you speak of, because it's not just one collective event where everyone's gathered. It's stretched out.
So as opposed to the only child who gets all their parents crazy, it's like being one of 8 children, and you just get an eighth of the crazy. You spread it out nicely. It's a little more. It's a low simmer crazy, is what you're telling me.
It's low pressure.
Yeah, very nice, very nice. Travel, of course, right now. If you're not already where you're going to be for tomorrow, just stay where you are. Really, what do you? If you are listening to us right now and you are about to go to the airport, just stop, turn around. What are you doing?
Yeah, they're saying this, it's already, I'm sure, just hopping at MSP Airport. They're saying this is probably going to break the record. 3 million people flying domestically just today. And then again on Sunday to get back where they need to be. They think Sunday might even be a busier day. But, yeah, it's going to... The airport drama. Oh, it's already started, man.
We're gonna and I think we need to hold off. But at 7 o'clock, the airport drama of all airport drama already going down. It's enough to literally make me think I would have canceled a flight if I'd had one. But the kids are home from school for the week. Our daughter is leaving Sunday, but at 6 a.m. I'm like, if you are flying Sunday, you're on the first flight available. Make no mistake about it. I'll take you to the airport at 2. I don't care. But you're not flying after 8 a.m. because you'll be stuck somewhere for the whole day. And then our son's just like, screw it, I'll go Monday. I'm like, yeah, good thinking. Just avoid the entire Sunday after Thanksgiving situation. So we've got a lot of other good stuff on the show today. We'll be giving away concert tickets at some point. Hang on, I must be reading this wrong. Rudy Pavich is in studio. What the hell is that all about? Who invited him here?
Whose idea was that?
He never left. He went down the hall for a while. I think, they just found out he's been camped out in the building. So
I thought I smelled ramen noodles. Wow. Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah,
and then also Joe Gatto is on the horn. Joe Gatto from the Impractical Jokers will be with us today.
Gatto, I believe. Yeah.
Whatever. You gotta correct me when you gotta correct me.
Yeah. What? And we've got Mike Evans Hollywood Report at 6:30. Hang tight.
It's the KQ Morning Show. 92 KQRS.
This is the KQ Morning Show. It's Wednesday, November the 22nd, 2023. Tomorrow's Thanksgiving, in case you're wondering why you're feeling crazy. It's just part of it, man. I mean, there's something about that I look at the calendar and I mean, if I see a calendar, if in, let's say it's mid-March, and I see a full year's calendar, if my eyes scan towards late November, I'm immediately 3% more stressed immediately. Just looking at the calendar and knowing what the last month of the year brings, just a downhill run to crazy. And it's all of us. I mean, and it's great. There's a lot of great things, a lot of wonderful moments, but they have to be there, because if not, I think civilization would end as we know it. It's crazy time, and we're going to do our best to get us all through this in one piece. But before we can get back into the crazy, who am I kidding? Who's crazier than Mike Evans? It's time for the Hollywood Report, is it not?
It is.
Hey, give it up, give it up, give it up, up. Here is your Thanksgiving Eve report. Here we go. Hey, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving Eve.
Oh, boy.
Hope everybody has a great holiday. We're going to take a step back just for a second. Today also marks the 60th anniversary of the assassination of John F. Kennedy. Before that, local news was only on TV for a half hour in the evening, and that was followed by the national news for only a half hour. Really no late news after that except local news. Now, news has changed forever since that assassination. Now all local stations have multiple newscasts during the day, and, of course, the 3 major networks, and 24/7 news on cable, Fox News, MSNBC, CNN, Newsmax, and on and on and on. The news has changed, and this is a date we should remember. November 22nd, 1963.
Got it.
You know, with all the serious stuff that goes on in the world, I am very thankful that I get to talk to you every day about the toy department of Human Affairs, Goofy Hollywood. And I spend a lot of time heckling a lot of overpaid, overpampered, oversexed celebrities. But today, I want to share with you, in my opinion, the top 10 celebrities who quietly give their time and money to charities and never want any credit.
The Angels
My top 10
of the
are
City of Angels.
Usher, Emma Watson, Adam Sandler,
Okay.
Chris Evans,
Okay.
Hugh Jackman, Dolly Parton,
Sure.
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson,
Yeah.
Kelly Clarkson,
Didn't see that coming.
Ryan Reynolds,
What?
and if there was one celebrity who I would say was the best at giving to charities and
Please say Taylor
doing
Swift.
it very quietly, it would be Keanu Reeves.
Yes!
Hey, God bless everybody. I hope you have a wonderful, healthy, safe Thanksgiving. Mili kalika maka haole maki hiki ho. Talk to you on Monday. See ya.
Man, Mike was doling out those top 10 charitable celebrities like it was bingo numbers. Just making us wait. Oh, 68. Like, oh, come on.
What was that last one? I forget. I really thought he was going Swift.
Keanu.
Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Reeves, yeah. Yeah, right.
Hey, I don't know if he's a charitable guy. I know he's nice to people on, public transit and stuff. You always see those pictures of him. I was at Port Authority buying some skag, and I ran into Keanu Reeves. Really nice guy. It's always like, what's Keanu Reeves doing there?
What's skag?
I don't know. It's just one of the many drug euphemisms I've heard. Sounds like something that nobody should know about or ever. It's a word I should probably never repeat again.
Oh, we're working at it a lot this morning. Skag.
Man, it's kind of nasty. Actually, the more I think about it, as Mike Evans mentioned in that brilliant soliloquy about news changing back 60 years ago today, the JFK assassination. I remember so clearly in 1988, the 25th anniversary of the JFK assassination. And, of course, I was 23 at the time, so I was thinking, like, man, that is such ancient news. And, of course, that's 35 years ago today. But the reason I remember JFK 25, CBS on that day played in real time. They just rebroadcast their entire broadcast from the day it happened. Like if he was shot somewhere like around 12:30 or 12:15 in the afternoon, whatever time he was shot, when CBS News back in 1963 broke into their soap operas with Walter Cronkite or whoever was initially on camera and said, "There's a report from Dallas that the president's been shot." And then they just stayed on the air for the next 10 or 11 hours. And on the 25th anniversary, CBS aired that exact day again. And you could tune it in all day long at any time. And it was just it was the exact same thing people had seen 25 years earlier. And that actually was kind of mind-boggling. I can't believe CBS did that in 1988, actually. But the most memorable part of that is I had a buddy in Atlanta, my dear friend, still good friend of mine, Mac Dorton, who was an obsessive JFK fan and fanatic and conspiracy nut. And he knew all the stuff back then, like pre-internet, had all the stories. And he let everybody know. Everybody in his world knew, do not call me, do not come by. From whatever time Walter Cronkite hits my TV, I'm not moving. I'm going to relive the day. I mean, it was like, for him, it was almost like a Beatles reunion concert for one. He was just like on board. Yeah, and I mean, he just wanted to experience that. And we all knew it. We all knew that was Mac's day. And what I forgot about was that was happening. I was around the corner from Mac's apartment at a bar where a band was having a record release party, and from 6 to 7 p.m., free bar, open drinks.
Yes.
Yeah. Hey. And so I did what any self-respecting guy does. I got there right at 6, and I drank like 57 shots.
Attaboy. Drinks giving.
Drinksgiving, and I was spinning drunk, and I realized I don't know anyone who lives in this neighborhood except Mac. I have to go to his house and pass out.
Not today.
And
days.
Boy, I knocked on that door, and he didn't come. I knocked again. I was banging that door down. He finally opened the door and took one look at me. I've never been hated more in my life. And I didn't just pass out. I made a mess of that whole bathroom first.
Okay.
And I ruined, he was 8 hours into JFK Day, and I just walked in there belly full of whiskey vomit and just spinning, and I'm spouting my own conspiracy theories about the world. It was a special day.
Blood and brains everywhere.
Yeah. There pretty much was. Yeah, no kidding.
Ruined his moment.
Yeah, his bathroom looked like the Kennedy slab. Trust me, that's a terrible thing to say. That's awful. I hate that. Tony, do you have something to add a little levity to the Thanksgiving Eve festivities?
Well, sure. We all deserve respect, right? Well, that includes the poultry we consume. So I want us all to do the right thing this Thanksgiving.
A turkey's journey to the local grocery store is barbaric and impersonal. That's why at Humane Farms, all the turkeys die of natural causes. Some may be feeble and elderly, riddled with disease, or suffering from heinous injuries, but rather than the barbaric destruction commonly practiced at many processing plants, they pass peacefully in their sleep. After they expire, they're given a brief eulogy, and after a religiously neutral, non-denominational ceremony, they're quickly frozen and shipped to one of our Humane Farms kiosks in a mall near you. Do the right thing this Thanksgiving. Serve up a bird that lived a full life and went when it was its time to go.
I can't chew this.
I feel like I'm eating fabric. These bones just dissolved into powder.
I think I just bit into a lesion.
Honey, are you all right?
Oh, God.
Honey?
Humane Farms. When it's time to say goodbye, it's time to eat.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, my God, that's beautiful. You can't do anything. Any PSA that it has the words riddled with disease is right up my alley. Man, that is magical. Very, very, very well played.
It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS. Zep, Tony, Candace, and Steve Gorman are the KQ Morning Show. 92 KQRS.
There's a documentary out. We spoke to the guy that made it called Mr. Jimmy, and it's about a Japanese guitarist who literally lives his entire life trying to be Jimmy Page, replicate his playing. And the guy's an amazing musician. And he truly, eyes closed, blind taste test, if you will, put on Song Remains the Same, the live album, and put on this guy playing it, and you don't know who's who. And it's truly amazing. But that's a guitarist, a singer, sounding exactly like Steve Perry. That to me is still... I mean, that's crazy. That's double crazy. Steve Perry is an insanely crazy vocalist. And then all these years later, Neil Sean, down a YouTube rabbit hole, finds... Arnell, the guy in the Philippines who sounds just like him. There's crazy, and then there's double crazy. And sometimes you just have to look back and say, hey, man, the human race is a trip. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Sometimes
a bad trip sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes double crazy is actually not so cool. And we've got probably because it's Thanksgiving, of course, and families are being reunited. The crazies out there. We're touching upon the crazy special. As Brian Zepp said, comforting. There's something comforting about holiday crazy. It's special crazy. And boy, oh boy, some folks on Frontier Airlines got all kinds of double crazy. And I don't mean the Steve Perry, Arnell from the Philippines crazy. I mean mid-flight or about to take off and just, whoo, baby. So basically, this is what happened. A woman had a situation. She had some sort of a break. You could say it was a mental health explosion, if you will. A woman is clearly not well, and she stands up and she's yelling and asking she's just yelling nonsense babble, kind of out of her mind. And that's tough to watch. I mean, it's a tough thing. And there's video on Twitter and there's audio, and she's having a significant situation. And the airline crew and a few other passengers are trying to get her under control, but also with a helpful, oh, my God, there's something really wrong with this woman. But that's not enough, because then crazy meets crazy. She just happened to be on a plane with another crazy person. We've got a little audio. Let's go ahead and play you this and see if you can make out what's happening here.
Ladies and gentlemen, I need everyone, please take your seats. Now, please. and every one of y'all, including your family members. That's not her. She's possessed and she needs help. I don't care. I'm only telling y'all this because all hell is about to break loose. If y'all don't have a relationship with Jesus Christ.
Oh, man.
There you go. Yeah.
Okay.
Someone cue the religious nut job.
That's not her. She's possessed. That's the devil. There's a real devil that wants to kill each and every one of y'all, including your family members.
Yeah.
That's not the woman having the meltdown. That's another passenger.
Yeah,
responding to the meltdown, and then she starts to sing some hymns, and then very loudly starts to pray. Boy, I mean, it's the first woman is saying, "I've been kidnapped. Stop me! Stop me! Stop blocking me! Help me!" That's bad enough. Like I said, that's a mental break.
Yeah.
Boy, when the religious nut stands up and starts explaining. In case anyone's wondering, that's Satan. He's real, and you're all going to hell unless you accept Jesus. Oh, man.
There's a real devil that wants to kill each and every one of y'all.
She's getting right in your face. She's going up to the passengers and pointing at them. The devil.
Yeah.
The devil's coming to get you. He's possessed. What a marvelous, lovely coincidence for her that someone goes off on her flight. Now, picture yourself on this flight, because all my flights have been rather mundane. A crying child occasionally. I've, had a drunk here or there, but nothing wild and outrageous like this. Not the double crazy on the flight. But then someone scans with their phone as they're recording the rest of the plane. And what's the rest of the plane doing? I mean, there must be 20, 30 phones all up recording.
Oh, yeah.
Of course. It's a surreal-looking experience. I can't imagine if I'm on this plane, I'm almost thinking, I'll take the hit for humanity. Let's nosedive this sucker right now. I think we're going to take out a lot of lemmings. I think we're going to take them right over the cliff here.
Yeah.
And maybe just this drop in the bucket. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to start carrying around one of those Elite Rocket Nerf guns.
Oh, there you go.
When everybody starts holding up their phone to record everything that happens now, I'm just going to see if I can't shoot their phone out of their hands. That's what I'm going to start doing. It's just the craziest, nuttiest. You've got to look this story up. It's not going to be hard for you to find the video for this today. But, yeah, just nuts meets nuts.
This is a flight. It's taking off from Houston on its way to Denver. So it's right after takeoff. And, I mean, the two most stressful parts of a plane for people who don't even mind flying are takeoff and landing. Right as it's taken off, this starts. The flight was immediately diverted to Dallas. So a very short flight all told because, when they said, hey, we need to land, they move everybody out of the way. So this plane was probably in the air for all of 20 minutes, before it landed in Dallas, and this was dealt with. There's just no way I've had some weird moments on planes. I've seen a fight break out. This was in the 90s, so this was way before cell phones, and this was basically just two English guys, and one of them thought the other guy's feet smelled. I mean, that was inevitable. And I've seen some weird interactions with flight attendants. I've seen people just be, for whatever reason, like really chippy and rude, like for no reason whatsoever. And I think people generally, there's an underlying stress for an awful lot of us when we get on a plane. But I don't remember the last time I saw crazy on top of crazy. By the time, if I'm on that plane, the woman who stands up and starts, saying this is a possession, this is the devil, and then starts singing hymns and praying, that's the one I go after. Yeah. I'm like, no. We're taping your mouth shut. You need to sit down and chill out. If that's the case, if this woman needs a personal relationship with Jesus Christ, then let's keep it personal. We don't need to be involved.
By the way, follow up on the initial crazy lady. We'll call her Crazy 1. Thing 1 and Thing 2. Crazy 1 and Crazy 2. And you're talking about she's having a mental breakdown. It's clear to see she's crawling over seats. But what she's yelling, what you can't hear, and is later a witness that gets off the plane, says that she's yelling, "Stop blocking me. I've been effing kidnapped." She walks off that plane because she's been kidnapped and forced onto this plane. And, of course, maybe God just has a great sense of humor. Maybe this is him, maybe, or it, the all omega alpha or whatever. Just having a little fun with folks. Okay, you're crazy. You think you're kidnapped. Now get off the plane. Now this is fun. I do this all the time. How about you're also crazy and you're on my side? I don't know. It's nuts. And then you look at the rest of the plane, and they're crazy too. Everyone's crazy.
Everyone's got those phones out. Yeah. I think we could make a pretty compelling case that God does in fact have a hell of a sense of humor, Brian. That's pretty easily proved taking a look around. One other thing about Thanksgiving weekend, and I am very happy to report that this is a very family-friendly weekend in terms of you stuff your gob with turkey and dressing and pie. And then a lot of people feel pretty darn amorous because 17% of couples who conceive on holidays do it around Thanksgiving weekend. If you've got a birthday in August or early September, right here, August 17th, then your parents were getting a little like turkey love. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. There's something about the fact that I can't really do much but sit here with this giant gut 9,000 calories later, but I can still probably have relations.
Sure.
Very happy to have been born in mid-August. All I know is Thanksgiving 64 the turkey must have been tremendous at the Gorman household. Just a moist bird. The dressing, that sage sausage in there was just done exactly right. More so than Valentine's Day. People conceive over Thanksgiving weekend more than any other holiday. There are 13% of people who conceive over Halloween, which let's not kid ourselves. That's just creepy.
Yeah, well, that's just drunk.
That's the weird goth people. That's the goths recreating.
That's going to the Halloween party and everyone's dressed up and you don't know who's who. And it's just kind of wacky and it's weird. And you really want to sleep with that wicked witch or sexy nurse. The fishnet comes out on Halloween and it
that's true.
Gets us all worked up. And if it wasn't your mom, there was a moist bird punchline in there somewhere.
I just didn't have the guts. She might be listening. It's just one of those things. Hey, here's another. But speaking of just the crazy on top of the crazy, Coon Rapids, Minnesota. That's a real place, apparently. Coon Rapids, there's a couple that are a little peeved. They're not getting the service they're looking for from their bank. These are the kind of trials and tribulations we all endure in the modern world. They've been saving pennies for years. They've got a 5-gallon jug filled with tens of thousands of pennies. And check this out. The bank doesn't want them. We've got the audio.
All 30,000 of them right here. My wife saves them. Now we've got another jug full that she's been saving over 10 years. And now the bank won't take them. What are we going to do with them? It's 300 pounds in there. And we can't use them for a boat anchor because they stole my boat. I started to see pennies all over the ground. Yeah. And I pick them up for my wife because she likes to save them.
Yeah, that's John Becker there of Coon Rapids. John, if you're listening this morning, 651-989-ROCK, we'd love to get to the bottom of this for you. Maybe we can buy them pennies off of him and donate them to charity or something like that if anyone can lift.
30,000 pennies. That's how much. What is that? How much money is that?
$300.
Okay, so we're not. Right. We can't use it as an anchor because they stole my boat. I wonder if they is the bank. Maybe he missed a payment or two because he was so worried about collecting pennies off the ground. He forgot to make a scratch out in a living. Maybe they are the. Boy, that sounds like just like a Dust Bowl story come to life again. They stole my boat, meaning farm or whatever.
Yeah, by the way, the bank said if the pennies were moved to smaller buckets without a neck. So this water bottle, it's the big one, the one that the guys hoist over their shoulder, and you put in I don't know, at work there.
Giant plastic 5-gallon water jug, sure.
The kind you can get 300 pounds of pennies in. I do see a couple of nickels in there, John. It could be worth a bit more to you. But they said, if you bring them in not in this 300-pound bottle, we'd be happy to take those pennies for you. Do they use copper and pennies anymore? I don't even know.
I don't. I do know that it costs more to produce a penny than a penny's worth. So that's just a matter of time before they officially. Maybe they already did. That's how insignificant pennies are. We don't even know if they still make them. They keep talking about it like it costs. Each penny costs more than 1 cent to create. So at some point, it's just not going to be making any. When's the last time you you collect coins or whatever, but I don't know, man. Pennies, 300 pounds of pennies in a jar. The idea that you think a bank does want those, you got to do what we did when we were kids. You got to go buy those little roller things, the little, you got to count out 50, stick them in there, seal it up. Just a pickup truck full of pennies. Maybe you should have been collecting quarters. Now that I think about it, maybe collecting the pennies wasn't quite the value, quite the bargain you were looking for. Collect quarters next time. Just a thought.
Think all that good luck though. Every penny he picked up.
All 30,000 of them right here. My wife saves them. Now we've got another jug full that she's been saving over 10 years, and now the bank won't take them. What are we gonna do with them? It's 300 pounds in there. And we can't use them for a boat anchor because they stole my boat. I'm starting to see pennies all over the ground. Yeah. And I pick them up for my wife because she likes to save them.
Where are there pennies all over the ground? What is happening in Coon Rapids?
Yeah,
you're only supposed to pick them up if they're face up, by the way. Otherwise, it's bad luck.
Oh,
that's why I don't pick them up. Because
that's
I can't remember. I'm like, I don't know. Because is it bad luck if you pick it up tails up?
Uh-huh.
I think it's cute that he wants to pick them up for his wife.
It's going to be a craft project or something. That
Coon Rapids was originally called Pennytown, and I never knew why, but now I do. There's damn pennies everywhere I go. How many? When's the last time you saw more than one penny in a week?
Well, like all her friends and relatives are like, oh, she'll want these here. And pull them out of her
That's
pockets.
Very true, yeah.
You know what Mrs. Becker's thinking? Bring home flowers. Thanks for the pennies, John. Why don't you bring home some flowers?
Hey, John, could you scramble an egg once in a while? Just something?
That's true. I feel like
something I can use?
I feel like often men, or I should say, like husbands, think that their wives really love something, and they really don't.
Yeah, like them. Right. She loves me. Okay, bud. We're not so sure about that. Hey, you know what? Real quick, I would be remiss if I didn't mention, you can meet up with our buddy Lisa Miller Saturday from noon to 2 at Riddle's Jewelry in Eden Prairie Center. Come out for a chance to win tickets to Earth, Wind, and Fire with Chicago. Plus, you can pick up KQ swag and other prizes. Riddle's Jewelry, Eden Prairie Center, Saturday from noon to 2 with Lisa Miller.
It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS.
I'm Steve Gorman. This is the KQ Morning Show. Zepp, you've mentioned several times the Wild have yet to really put the pieces together. Is that a fair statement?
That's a kind statement, I think. Yeah, it's the goaltending, and a lot of that D just hasn't. There's a whole lot of things going on. There's also been some injuries.
Okay.
But yeah, no, they're off to a pretty abysmal start.
Okay, well, I'm more of a basketball guy. I'm coming around to this whole concept that hockey happens every year, not just when the Predators are good. So I'm on board.
The Olympics.
Yeah, exactly. I love the Olympics. Oh, come on, what are you kidding?
Yeah.
But Timberwolves at least covering their end of the bargain right now. That's the best team in the Western Conference so far. Yeah. Crazy to say. And by the way, for everyone saying no, the Nuggets are going to repeat, which makes perfect sense. The Nuggets don't have a bench. The Timberwolves are deep. I can't believe I'm saying this, but man, right now, that's a deep playoff run at the very least for the Timberwolves. Maybe by the time that's happening, the Wild will have turned a few things around as well. But it's neither here nor there. The Wild games, I can speak to this. They are a blast. Yeah. And we've got tickets. They're playing the St. Louis Blues Tuesday, November 28th, a little less than a week from now. That's also Grateful Dead night. And, baby, we got tickets to give away. Of course, we're going to have some folks play a game. Tony, today's game is...
Baby, we got the holiday spirit for this one.
Now, it is well known throughout the Midwest that the old man is a turkey junkie.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. Oh.
Turkey Day.
The KQ Morning Show presents...
Get stuffed.
Get stuffed.
Get stuffed.
Get stuffed.
Yes, exactly.
Well, it's just, simple and delightfully pure Thanksgiving trivia to sharpen the mind. It's multiple choice. You pick.
What could be better?
Right.
Get stuffed. All right, let's do it. Candace, who's contestant number 1?
We have Kent from Blaine.
Kent, good morning.
How's it going, guys?
It's great on this end, brother. Are you ready to get stuffed?
Oh, I'm ready.
Attaboy. Shoulder to the wheel. Let's do this.
All right, sir. Number 1. Here's your question. I ask you, is a pumpkin an A, fruit, B, tuber, or C, legume?
C.
Did you say C? I am sorry. The pumpkin actually is a fruit. How about that?
It's those darn, seeds, I guess? I don't know. How do you know? What's the difference?
Right.
All I know about pumpkins is you can put a whole one into a hippo's mouth and he'll just crunch that sucker like a potato chip.
Oh, yeah, that's fun to watch.
I mean, it's,
Always.
What was the last time anyone grabbed for a piece of pumpkin and just took a big bite? Never would be the answer.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Number 2, who declared that Thanksgiving be made a national holiday? Was it A, Abe Lincoln, B, Frank Perdue, or C, Jimmy Dean?
B.
I'm sorry, it was Abe Lincoln. Abe Lincoln.
Lincoln?
For sure it was Jimmy Dean.
Yeah, I knew it wasn't that.
Man.
That's all right. There's more to go. You get 5 of them. Number 3, which character has made the most appearances at Thanksgiving parades? Has it been A, Sonic the Hedgehog, B, Snoopy, or C, the Love Boat's Isaac the bartender?
It's got to be Snoopy, B.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right.
Man, I was hoping for underdog, but yeah, guess not.
Oh, yeah. Do you know they used to use real animals before they came up with the big inflatables back in the day? They'd just empty the Bronx Zoo and run them down whatever street that is.
Just give them a push.
Yeah.
Give them a swat on the rump.
That's great. The Macy's Day Parade. Who let that Bengal tiger out?
Running of the bulls.
It'd be great.
All right, 2 more for you. The red flesh under a turkey's beak is called a what? A, weeble, B, wheeler, C, waddle.
C, waddle.
Correct.
Wow.
I'm calling it a wheeler from now on.
Hey,
comes up so often.
remember, weebles wobble, but they don't fall down.
Correct.
We all remember that.
That's right, Steve.
And by the way, I want to make and now that I'm mentioning that, real quick, my 50 years too late, but I'd like to apologize to the Weber ladies in our neighborhood on the larger side. And we used to say Webers wobble, but they don't fall down. I feel terrible about that.
Oh, I feel bad. They had bad balance.
Sorry, girls.
Yeah.
All right, sir, your last one. The day after Thanksgiving, Black Friday, is known also as Brown Friday because it's the busiest day for who? A, chocolatiers, B, tanning salon managers, or C, plumbers?
Oh, boy. I'm going to go with A on that one.
Oh, Kent.
What was it,
Kent.
again?
Plumbers.
Oh, it was plumbers.
Busy day, Brown Friday. For
I mean, that just seemed too obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh man. We talked about it the other day, Kent.
Yeah.
So, we were planting seeds. We were hoping that you'd be with us. But that's okay.
I'm sorry,
you know what?
Guys, I missed that one.
That's all right. That's all right. We've all got lives to live. 2 out of 5. As we learned yesterday, Kent, sterling performance, possibly. Don't lose heart. Fine job playing Get Stuffed. We're going to put you on hold for a minute. Candace, contestant number 2 is?
Thomas from St. Louis Park.
Thomas, good morning.
Good morning. How you doing?
We're great on this end, sir. Are you ready to get stuffed? And I mean that literally and figuratively.
Man, I woke up and did a wake and bake, flipped on the radio, and heard you say that you're giving away the tickets. So I called in. The last time I listened to KQ and called in, I won second row tickets to the last Stone show.
Oh,
nice.
Wow, lucky duck.
Speaking of stones.
Since that Grateful Dead night, I've seen the Dead 105 times. I think this is karma lining up for me here.
Wow.
Stoner rant.
Wow. That is fantastic, sir. You've got a moment or 2 right now if you need to top off, and then Tony's going to have your first question.
All right, let's go wake and bake, Thomas. Number 1. What famous Christmas song was initially written as a Thanksgiving song? Was it A, Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer, B, Kumbaya, or C, Jingle Bells?
I'm going to say reindeer.
Oh, for heaven's sakes. No, it was Jingle Bells. Originally a Thanksgiving song.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
How
Really?
about that? Yeah, we're all learning things.
Turkey legs, and that. Yeah. I can sing Jingle Bells in French, by the way. Can't speak the language, can't order a restaurant meal, but I can sing that song for some reason.
I don't believe you. I want to hear it.
Yeah,
We'll come back. Vive le vent, vive la vent du frère, qui s'en vont de au nom de les grands sapins verts. Hey, why do I remember that? It's useless. It's pointless.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Monsieur Pomme de Terre Tête.
Ah, je suis un sandwich du jambon, Tony.
Hello, my name is Mr. Potato Head.
Whereas I just said I am a ham sandwich.
It's so
Omelette
pretty.
du fromage. Anybody remember that old Steve Martin bit from back? Omelette du fromage. You know those French?
Double cheese.
It's like they have a word for everything. It's omelet with cheese, yeah. Omelette du fromage.
It's crazy how that works.
I'm hungry.
All right, Thomas.
Cheese.
All right, Thomas. We're just giving you extra time, brother. Now we're back in.
We're talking to a stoner about food right now. He's going through the fridge.
Oh. A great laugh. Thomas, number 2. What song is played in its entirety as a Thanksgiving tradition on many radio stations, including KQRS right here at 9 a.m., noon, and 5 p.m.? Is it A, Iron Butterflies, Inagata Davida, B, Arlo Guthrie's Alice's Restaurant, or C, Wipeout?
Can I ask some easy questions like that other dude, man?
This is easy.
Yeah.
This is as easy as it gets, brother.
Number 2. Is it number 2?
This is slow.
Yes, it is.
It is
Alice's
number 2.
Restaurant.
Also known as Alice's Restaurant.
All 18 minutes of it. All right.
Good Lord.
Thomas. Number 3. The Pilgrims came to the New World seeking religious freedom and were also known as A, Puritans, B, Crips, or C, the Knights Who Say Knee. Great. What'd you say, Thomas?
They're Puritans, but they might have said knee, but they're Puritans.
Yes, correct.
Knee.
2 more, my man. Cranberries are also called what? A, bounce berries, B, crunch berries, or C, huckleberries?
Oh, I have no idea. What was the first one again?
Bounce berries, crunch berries, huckleberries.
The only one I've ever heard of is huckleberries.
Sorry, it is bounce berries. Doesn't that sound fun?
Never heard of that before. Maybe I'll try one.
Never knew that myself. I was waiting for Halle Berries.
Yes, sir.
Dingle?
God. All right. Thankfully, this is your last one. A furcula is a...
Watch your mouth, Lee.
Furcula, pardon, is A, a couple's dance in the Ozarks, B, B, the wishbone, or C, a hairy vampire? Furcula.
Better be the wishbone.
Yes, it is.
Oh.
Thank goodness.
Wow. Pulling it out by the skin of his teeth. His little stone teeth. Thomas, congratulations, sir. You have picked up tickets to see the Minnesota Wild and the St. Louis Blues Grateful Dead night at XL Energy Center.
Of course it is.
Perfect.
Leave the bong in the car and go have a blast, would you? Kent,
Lined up on that one.
hey, Kent, you're not leaving empty-handed. We got a 4-pack of tickets to the St. Paul Ice Fishing and Winter Sports Show. That's Friday, December 1st through Sunday the 3rd at the St. Paul River Center. Gentlemen, thank you both for playing.
Right on. That was fun. Thank you so much.
Man,
Right on.
you got a happy Thanksgiving to you.
If he's got a tie-dye laying around.
Whatever's in his fridge for tomorrow will be consumed within the hour.
My hand.
Sorry, baby. Turkey was just looking too
Oh
good.
my God. I had one THC seltzer last night,
Uh-huh.
and I was a giggly girl.
Were
I
you
was
giggling?
giggling and giggling some more.
Some of
Now,
them
let
are
me ask
stronger
you this.
now.
Let me ask you this, Candace, because I saw a post you shared on social media. You were at a gig. Is that correct?
Yes, I saw this. I mean, it is what it is. They're a satanic band, but they're from the 60s called Coven. Do you know who they are?
Heard of them.
Yep.
Wait,
Yes.
wait.
Sorry, I just want to breeze past that.
Not like Black Sabbath fun satanic, but like honest to God, like satanic verses people.
Yeah, but
Really?
it's cool.
And-
I mean, it's like, it's fine. Incredible.
Just brush
They were
over
so
it.
good. So there's a lot of interesting fun facts though. So Yes, they're from the 1960s. They're from Chicago, American band. It's like psychedelic. It's kind of like satanic, but also Mamas and the Papas. So it's like interesting.
Those things
melodies.
are not mutually exclusive to my ear.
So anyway, they have an album, their first album. There's a song called Black Sabbath. And their guitarist is named Oz Osbourne. And this is before Black Sabbath was even a thing.
What? Oh, really?
Yeah. Yep. And so I watched, I did all this research yesterday, and there was this video of Tony Iommi watching, them on this little TV thing on an interview, and he was just saying, I've never heard of them before. It's interesting, huh? He's like, that's just a coincidence.
Wow. Hold on a minute. So you had one THC seltzer, you committed your firstborn to this coven, and then now you're sharing with us insight that maybe Ozzy Osbourne and Black Sabbath ripped them off. This is a fascinating conversation.
It's I don't think ripping off is the right word, but I think maybe I don't know.
A tribute?
It's interesting.
Tell me, what color is the sky in your will?
But yeah, so it was really fun. It was at the Fine Line, and another band, Lucifer, was with them, and they were awesome.
You saw Coven and Lucifer.
Yeah, and they're both chick singers, blonde.
And you were extra giggly while that was happening.
Yep, it was pretty dope, and they're really, really great, though, man. Oh my god.
Oh my god is exactly right. On happier news, less satanic news, the 92 KQRS kickback jackpot is at $12,000. You can meet up with our buddy Woody and Bud Light at McHugh's Public House in Savage during the first half of Monday night's game. 7 p.m. kickoff. Sign up once you get there for the kickback jackpot. If the first play of the second half is a kickoff return for a touchdown by either team, you could win $12,000. If not, we're going to roll the prize money over to the next game. We'll add another $1,000 to the pot. Complete contest rules at 92KQRS.com.
12 G's. How merry would that Christmas be? All right, our good buddy, Rudy Pavich, in studio this morning talking about a big weekend at Rick Bronson's House of Comedy. Hang tight.
It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS. Zep, Tony, Candace, and Steve Gorman are the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS.
This Sunday night, there's an event going down over at the House of Comedy, and our good buddy, Rudy Pavich is in the studio with us to discuss this very thing. Rudy, good morning.
Good morning, buddy. How are you?
As far as I know, I'm okay.
That's always nice to know. As far as I'll tell you this. You're doing a little bit better than my mom, because my mom had texted me this morning and said, hey, so what time are you going to be on KQ? And I said, 8 o'clock. And then I didn't hear back, so I thought, well, I'll call her quick. And then I called my mom, and she picked up, and I said, hey, you on your way down to Minneapolis? And she said, no, I'm on my way to Minneapolis. I went, all right, Mom, you know what? Great. Right. That sounds amazing. I can't wait. That's amazing. Sounds good, Mom. We'll see you in a few hours.
So she put that turkey on the table yesterday and wondered where you were.
I guess so, yeah.
Wow.
Be nice.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so we've been talking about Thanksgiving, Rudy. Mom a good cook? She work a turkey with the best of them, or what?
We 2 years ago decided to do the super, I don't even think it's Midwestern, but I guess the suburban thing to do. We order the entire meal now from Kowalski's.
Nice.
Like a kit.
Yeah. Right. And we just all pitch in whatever, $50. I bring some deviled eggs and a 6-pack of beer, and then that's it. It's too much. It's listen, I just want to enjoy the day. This is what we're here for, to watch football and then fall asleep on the couch at 2 o'clock. I'm not here to make a big to-do about turkey and stuff. No. Just you guys bring it. We'll unwrap it. We basically eat out of containers all day, everywhere. It doesn't matter. So it's like, well, let's just do the same thing with Thanksgiving.
Bravo.
Yeah, pragmatic Thanksgiving makes sense. The version of that for my family is a few years ago, my wife and I finally stopped saying, we finally realized, let's stop asking the kids what's wrong with the turkey, and let's just go to ham. And boy, it's been better ever since.
Yeah, I think people sleep on the ham for Thanksgiving. Listen, I feel like it's more of a Christmas dish, but when you throw a little bit of ham in there just on the side, delicious on Thanksgiving.
Now, we go big shank of ham and now just one small turkey breast. My kids, their whole life, doesn't matter who makes it. It's not that it's too dry. It's not that we're losers. They don't care for turkey. They would have a bite or two, and they'd always go to the ham, and everything else is fine. And one day we're like, No one is watching. There's not a government program that's going to come by and say, "Did you make a turkey?" And so we eliminated it. And boy, life's just a lot better that way.
Yeah, I think people forget that the cold ham sandwich.
Oh.
At like 8:30 on Thanksgiving night, when you reach into that fridge and pull it out.
Ew. I'm so grossed out right now. I'm sorry.
Cold ham? Are you kidding me?
So
Rudy.
good.
You got to warm her up.
You go with the cold ham and the cold turkey. Get it all in there. Throw some
I
stuffing
like
in there.
turkey sandwiches. That's the only reason I want turkey on Thanksgiving is so I can have the turkey sandwich, which is basically just a bun with butter, mayo, salt and pepper, and turkey.
Yeah. Do you make the turkey? Do you make a turkey, a big, or
No.
you just go,
No.
Where's the
Mayo
turkey
and
come
butter?
from? Just,
Yeah.
Well,
Someone
do
drop
you
one
just
off?
do you just open the refrigerator and a turkey appears? Is this? Did you
I
learn
got a
this
lot
at
of friends. I get turkey somehow, some way. I
Okay.
get a baggie of turkey every
I thought
Thanksgiving.
maybe that Lucifer and Coven concert. That's where you were. You're like, yeah. What's the spell for turkey?
Subway will slice her up fresh.
Yeah, they will. Well, Rudy, you've got a gig Sunday night, and it's really you're looking forward. I guess you're like screw Thanksgiving. Let's focus on Christmas. What in the world? What is a roast of Santa Claus? What the hell are you doing?
So the first time they put this together was last year, and it got a little bit of traction. I don't think as much as it should have. And then this is the year I think we're going all out because it's the Grinch, Frosty the Snowman, Jack Frost, the dad from every Christmas movie ever. It's like people that are involved with Christmas all getting up on stage and roasting Santa Claus on Sunday night. And I know it sounds ridiculous. And the first time I heard it, I went, "Well, that's never going to take off." And then I saw it from my own two eyes and went, "Oh, this is brilliant."
It sounds hilarious.
Yeah, and especially for parents. Who get just finally a chance to get a little bit of redemption from Santa. It's great. We're looking forward to it. It's Sunday night, House of Comedy. You can get tickets houseofcomedy.net or on my website, rudypavichcomedy.com.
Now, I assume Santa shows up to this event, right? You can't have a roast without Santa present. How's he handle being roasted?
He's good. He definitely knows how to dish and take it. That's the thing. The thing about our Santa is that our Santa has jokes preloaded. So as soon as we get off stage, then it's his turn to throw it back on us.
I never realized there was so much beef with Santa. I mean, he's stepping on toes.
Yeah, well, here's how I know. As I'm writing roast jokes throughout the last month, I know that they are good jokes if I tell them to my mom, and then she's offended. And I go, that's a good joke. That's a good joke.
Yeah.
You guys want me to read it?
Rudy.
Sure.
Please.
Okay.
There's no better offense barometer than good old mom. I know that one from personal experience.
Yeah. I won't give you the A material. You got to come to the show for the AA material, but I'll definitely give you my B pluses.
I'm a B student at best anyway. Yeah. This is going to fit in just right.
Well, when you say AA around the holidays. Anyway, here we go.
Santa is such a racist. How racist is he? Okay, come on, guys.
Sorry.
Okay, no. Santa is such a racist. When he wrote the naughty list, he just copied and pasted from Schindler.
Oh, see, I gotta give you that.
Man.
They say Jesus is the reason for the season, but Santa is the reason for Ozempic.
I see my mom's driving down just to slap you across your face.
Yeah. Man.
Santa's so fat, above the chimney, instead of stockings, he hung compression socks.
That's pretty good.
All right.
See that?
So those are that's just it's like mid-level jokes that are going to be in the middle somewhere. We're going to hammock those, but the A stuff you're going to have to wait for. And there's some really heavy hitters that are on this show too. Max Chapman, I don't know if you guys know that name. He's a local. I'm telling you, one of the funniest kids. He's an up-and-comer that is just killing right now. And there's so many good people that are going to be involved with it. So
okay, quick question, Rudy. You said all these characters are going to be there. Are you in a character from a Christmas movie? Or did I hear that incorrectly? Are you going to be Clark Griswold? Are you going to be the Grinch? Are you going to be one of these people?
Well, I was chatting with Candace the other day because I was going to go, obviously, since I'm a diminutive man, I was going to go as one of Santa's elves. And then Candace brought it up. She goes, "Is anybody the Grinch?" And I thought, oh, that's right, dum-dums. Like, why didn't we think of the Grinch?
Nice.
So I pivoted. I went out. I bought a whole Grinchy outfit.
Yeah.
I got the makeup. My girlfriend's doing the makeup for me, and I'm
Like
coming
it.
as the Grinch. So, yeah, you'll see. I've been watching the Grinch, both the Jim Carrey and the animated version.
Yeah.
I've watched them both like 4 times just to try to get material. And I have realized that sometimes you go back. I tried to rewatch The Mighty Ducks. And what a stinker of a movie that is when you're an adult. But as a kid, it's great. But I rewatched both the Grinches. They both hold up. You know, I know the Jim Carrey one not as good as the animated one, but they're still so good.
Natural insult comic too. Perfect.
Yeah,
Of course.
Yeah.
Candace, I don't know if you have plans that night, but every good Grinch needs a Cindy Lou Who.
Oh, I'm so her, aren't I, though?
You are Cindy Lou Who.
Just get on your little onesie, your little night, put your hair up in that weird thing, and just walk around and long and yearn for roast beast.
Why do I have a feeling Cindy Lou's going to show up this year goth?
Yeah, I was going to say, she's actually coming as Cindy Lou Who and the number of the roast beast.
Oh, that was good.
You need Jeff Ross and the ghost of Greg Giraldo to show up for this roast.
Oh, man. Yeah, I could totally see this turning into a thing. So this is just the second year, but you've already got us sold. The hilarity is kind of just right there on the table.
Yeah, and I'm so surprised that this is something that more people haven't done throughout the years.
Yeah.
It just seems like just such a no-brainer. That first day that first weekend getting into the holiday season, and especially for comedians. But I've never seen anybody do it. Last year was the first year, and now we're finally gonna. I think this is where it's really gonna take off. So I think we're at half capacity, a little more than half capacity already. So tickets on sale. They're gonna be going fast. houseofcomedy.net, or like I said, my website, rudypavichcomedy.com.
Beautiful. First chance of the season to get out the ugly sweater, to go to the show. You guys serving up any eggnog drinks, any Christmas cheer there?
Yeah. My
That
buddy
night?
Sean's one of the best bartenders in the Mall of America.
Yeah,
Hands
he
down.
is.
So, yeah.
Rudy, you were with us last month in October. You hung out for a week while Zepp was out of town. You've been bouncing around since. Just following your posts. You've been a busy guy. Where all you been?
I have, man. Yeah. So I was on the road. I was in Spokane. That's actually, Steve, I don't know if you talked about this, but I was in Spokane, Washington, doing shows. I was opening for Adam Carolla out there.
Right.
And I went to...
Cool.
There's this cool spot in Spokane. It's like kind of uptown-ish. And they have all these record shops and all these like cool little vintage stores. And I walked in, and first record I see is an old Black Crowes record. And I took a photo of it and sent it to you. And I sat down and just started chatting with the guy who owned the shop, and he was a big fan. And it was great. Yeah, so Spokane and then Tacoma. Just got back from, let's see, I think Chicago. It's one of these things you start looking at. I got asked to do Boise. And I was like, I've never done Boise. And then the guy booking it looked at my schedule and was like, 6 weeks ago, you were in Boise. I was like, oh, yeah. That's right, I was.
That's great.
Yeah.
I've never done Boise.
Yeah. But then, let's see, I'm going to be at Snarky Loon Brewing up in Jenkins, Minnesota. That's just north of Brainerd. And then I'm doing the Fargo Theater with Carolla. That is, I think there's like 13 tickets left for that show.
Wow.
That'll be the Fargo Theater. I believe that is November 30th. So next Thursday, week from tomorrow.
I like Snarky Loon, not your average loon, but one with a little bit of an edge.
Yeah. I like a loon with attitude. They're kind of, the lone wolf is not really the word I'm looking for, but the loon is kind of a loner. I like a little bit of attitude in my loons.
Yeah, and I like it a lot. A Roast of Santa Claus. It's this Sunday night, November the 26th. Tickets on your website. Give me the websites again.
Yeah, so it's rudypavichcomedy.com, or you can just go to houseofcomedy.net.
Right. Fair enough, man. Yeah, that's pretty good. I wonder if there's going to be. You said you thought about being an elf. There will be other elven, I'm sure. I wonder if anyone's showing up as a reindeer. If Rudolph, Rudy, obvious missed opportunity, is going to make an appearance, or maybe that bastard Donner is going to show up. He's always been. You can't turn your back on him.
No, we do have a Rudolph. We do have, and actually, it will be hosted by Mrs. Claus herself.
Nice. Oh, nice.
Yeah, so the one joke I ran past my mom where she said, "You can't say that." Is at some point I need to turn and say, "Hey, Mrs. Claus, close your legs. We can see your mistletoe."
Oh, I like it. I like it a lot.
I love that your mom was offended.
If the word on the street for Mrs. Claus, if you just had one word, it's always been, loose.
Yeah, well.
Loose. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Good old
Got her own
vagina
Christmas
jokes.
toys.
Sure. We've got some other stuff to get into, but Rudy, you're more than welcome to hang for another segment if you got time.
I do. Yeah, thank you guys. Love to.
Yeah,
we're gonna
beautiful.
Keep the whole Thanksgiving theme going. Of course, Tony has a bit here for us, a little Thanksgiving something coming up here at 8:30. And then we're going to talk about the Thanksgiving chore spreadsheet. A fair amount of work, we all know, goes into putting out a big spread. Rudy, you were talking about that earlier, avoiding it this year. The old days of one gender carrying all the weight while the other gender watches football and farts, those days are long gone. One family has come up with a Thanksgiving chore spreadsheet, and we're going to let them share that with you at 8:30. Hang tight.
It's the KQ Morning Show. 92 KQRS.
I'm Steve Gorman. This is the KQ Morning Show. That last song, Fun Fact by the Black Crowes. Rudy, I've never seen anyone robot quite like you were just doing.
It was funny because as I was air drumming, I thought, you can get away with air drumming in front of most people, and they go, he knows what he's doing. When you air drum in front of the guy who actually played the drums on the song,
sure,
he can kind of call you out as to how bad you are.
I would never, ever call you out. I will internally, I'm mocking you relentlessly.
Yeah. Isn't he cute?
I
did
that day one, sitting in the Studio C there with Steve. Day one, we're just getting started with the new show here, and that's what I do. I don't even know I'm doing it. I just air drum. Driving, broadcasting, and I look over and make eye contact, and I'm like, oh my God. But he was like, no, that's cool, man. But I knew he was he's still judging me.
Well, that's the thing about air drum and air guitar is that you know all the songs.
Yeah.
Every song. You know how to play all of them. That's the beauty of playing the air instrument.
I grew up far more of an air guitarist than an air drummer, in fact. And then there was a point in time, by the time I was 10, I had moved from air guitar to tennis racket guitar. That's how seriously I took it.
Yeah.
I used to do that, too, in front of the mirror in my sister's room. To the monkeys.
I had a tennis racket. I had the tennis racket. Then I had, you remember the old wooden frames you used to put around the racket and tighten them down to keep it?
With screws.
That was for when I needed an acoustic guitar. I would add that. True story. And then I even did a double neck. I connected two tennis rackets to go full Jimmy Page double neck. Damn. I had a lot of time on my hands in the mid 70s in a small town in Kentucky with a basement stereo. You'll
get a splinter doing that, mister.
You certainly will. You certainly will. It was that very band, the Black Crowes, that led me for the first time in my life to ever miss a family Thanksgiving. In fact, I missed a few of them. But in 1990, on our first tour, we played in Philadelphia Thanksgiving night. And so while I wasn't with my family, I was in a club in a town where I really had very, very good reason to believe I might just get my ass kicked for looking the wrong way. Because, that's how they roll in Philly. I remember thinking, wow, it's my first Thanksgiving away from home, and I might get a knife. I might get stabbed tonight. You just never know. Rudy, you ever miss Thanksgiving? You ever been on your own on a Thanksgiving somewhere in the world?
Away from family, a couple times, because when you're in radio, especially when you're in your 20s, you take whatever podunk job you can possibly find.
Sure.
And I was living in Springfield, Missouri. This was, I don't know, maybe 2003, 2004, but I missed both Thanksgiving and Christmas. Oh. But that year of Christmas, full circle, I had sent my mom a letter, and I had no money. I went out in the woods, at 2 o'clock in the morning after I got off my night shift. I went out in the woods, and I plucked a tree out of the middle of nowhere, and I brought it home, and I set it up, just like roots and all, just set it in the corner, because I couldn't afford a tree stand. I had a case of Pabst Blue Ribbon that I drank, and then I hung all of the cans on the tree for decorations, and I cut a star out of the Pabst Blue Ribbon box. This is how much little money I had.
Yeah.
And just 3 days ago, when my daughter and I put our Christmas tree up, I on top of that tree, 20 years later, I still have that Pabst Blue Ribbon star that I've been putting up there.
Nice.
As a reminder of like
that
hey,
is.
Yeah, because sometimes it's ups and downs, it's ebbs and flows with this business, and I every time I put it up there, I always think you've been in so many worse places than you are now, and it's just a constant reminder. And of course, my daughter's like, you do realize they sell decent stars at Target for $7?
No,
that's really cool.
Yeah, they don't have the sentimental value. So,
of course.
Yeah, after I missed that Thanksgiving and Christmas, I told myself, never again. It's not worth it. Wherever you're at, different if you're living a dream or something, But for me, I was just some radio dude who was like, I just don't want to spend at the time the $31 in gas to get me from Springfield to Hibbing. So I stayed, But now it's different. Now I realize it's more about the memories and the fun times than it is about the money. So
yeah, Rudy Pavich is in the studio with us. I was hoping you were going to say, and then I set the tree up and I put the beer cans on there, and then someone knocked on the door and they said, we planted that tree when our dad died. But just to really top it up, Zepp, you're an Army guy. I got to think you've missed a few holidays like Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I missed a few, and that's the only time in your life you really miss it. I think it's when you're there, but you're there with another family. Your brothers and your sisters, and there's a lot of camaraderie, and everybody always turns out for the troops. We get these care packages. They didn't treat me that well when I was at home, but as soon as I jumped overseas, suddenly you're getting these killer care. I got a 40-pound box of just the best goodies, and I had it all to myself. Well, I might have shared a little bit. We like to get there in the barracks and share what each other has, but so it was special in a different way. But yeah, you're really missing home. I mean, you miss home the day you get on the bus and they haul you down to Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. You start missing home, and you don't. And you don't stop missing it. But yeah, the troops are all well taken care of, and those that are in harm's way around the world, certainly we're thinking about them and want them to get home to their families as quickly as possible.
Yeah, no question. Tony, ever miss a Thanksgiving?
No, I've been really lucky. I have tons of cousins, and there was always somebody around. We'd have some big gathering. So
very nice. Candace, I know you grew up Amish, so when you did your Rumspringa.
No, I hooked up with a half Amish guy.
Oh, that's what it was. Right. I get the details kind of fuzzy. Did you ever go out like on a, I don't know, like you and your girlfriends take a road trip to follow like a satanic band somewhere and you woke up and forgot it was Thanksgiving and you missed it, or always home?
No, always home pretty much, but I wasted a lot of time in the bathroom, I guess. So I guess you could say I'm
again. Sure.
Just go back there.
You'll go blind doing that.
I tell you what.
I missed a lot of the stuff that happened at Thanksgiving from spending alone time.
Goodness gracious. You and this Thanksgiving tummy of yours. I don't know.
That's okay. I'm having crab this year, so I'll be just fine.
But again,
it's a known diuretic.
God, that won't mess with your stomach. Make sure it's properly prepared, okay?
Sure, there's plenty of mercury in there.
There's going to be... You're just going to have to add that to the list. The more people you get into a house for Thanksgiving, the more a bit of a plan is required. I mean, my wife and I, we only have 2 kids. Occasionally, there's a stray nephew or a cousin or someone will join us. My mom will be in every other year, if she's not at my brother's house up in Kentucky, blah, blah, blah. So, we came up with, we don't have like a full list of duties, but we do have a schedule. If we want to sit down at 4, then we work backwards. Well, then by 3:30, this has to have been done, and by 2. So we have that list that we made a few years ago, but we've never been quite so, what's the word, anal as to come up with a full spreadsheet. But there's one woman out there, and I'm just going to take a moment while we listen to her explanation of her family's breakdown. I'm just going to take a moment and give thanks that I don't know this woman and that I'm not related to her. Zepp, I believe you have your thumb on the pulse of this particular insane person's situation.
Just an anonymous family posted on TikTok.
Okay, so this is how I do Thanksgiving so that my siblings and I don't kill each other. Basically, we give every dish a point value from 1 to 3. A cranberry dish is a 1, a turkey is a 3. And we all draft what dishes we want to make. We also do this thing called Flex Kitchen, which means you basically hang out in the kitchen for an hour, and your job is to keep the kitchen clean. So unloading the dishwasher if it needs ready, loading it, helping out the people cooking, whatever it takes to keep the kitchen moving. So everyone has the same amount of work on a holiday.
Sounds fun.
Does it?
No. For God's sakes.
What if somebody spills? There'll be tears.
Yeah, not at all. All right, you know what, sweetie? You want me to clean up the turkey? Well, then I'm on Friday while you guys are out shopping. Actually, I'm going to need you to be here because I'm reinstalling the garage door. So why don't you grab a tool belt, hon, and help me out in the garage? I don't like this. No. Listen,
No, trust me. This is exactly what it would be if you just had audio of the day. Here it is, 3rd and 18, last chance for the Lions. Steven! Time for the potatoes.
It's time for your hour in the
Screw
kitchen.
that.
You've got your hour in the kitchen that you have to spend. It's right there on the spreadsheet. I love all the organization that goes into this, but I guarantee you it blows up every year in her family's face, and this is why.
Yeah, of course it does.
Man, we're just not good at it. We don't organize that way, and what we're good at is getting out of work. So there are guys that are going into the kitchen. You know what I do? I go into the kitchen, and I'm the biggest nuisance in the kitchen until my mom goes, Brian, get out of the kitchen.
Every year.
Go somewhere, do something. Well,
yep.
I mean, I could go sit. You want me to just go drink beer and watch football? I want to help, Mom. Get out. You're more of a burden than help. And, yeah, we screw it up. So we screw it up brilliantly. And that, I don't know what the hell I'm doing in there. Someone's going to be, there's salmonella. Is what you're getting for Thanksgiving if I'm involved in either cleaning or preparing any Thanksgiving meal.
One of the great Detroit Lion linebackers of the 70s, Sal Manella. I remember him so well on Thanksgiving. I mean, he was Detroit's own Butkus. You know what I mean? Those were golden days. As a kid born in a Michigan family, the Lions on Thanksgiving, such a thing. And I do remember probably 12 or 13, I finally said, hey, Dad, have the Lions ever won on You shut up, like right away. Like, no, that's not the point. That's not what it's about. We're the first to do it. It's tradition. And I'm like, yeah, but we suck. Yeah. Why am I saying we? I'm 2 states removed from Michigan. Do I have to be a Lions fan? Difficult moments in life.
Yeah, and I was always wondering why our family never got the 6-leg turkey.
Exactly.
Come on, John Madden.
Yeah,
no kidding. Other 4 legs. Where are those things coming from? Chernobyl turkey.
Man, no kidding. Tony, we've got another Thanksgiving bit that I'm all ears for. Please, sir.
We do, y'all. You know the holidays can bring pressure and turn dark sometimes, but don't get wound too tight. It's just dinner.
It's Thanksgiving. Time to gather for the feast. See the faces you have to see once a year. Awkward conversation. Old wounds surface. Tension and resentment builds as drinks flow. Judgment and ridicule over your low-paying job, relationship failures, and weight issues. Political arguments. Fists fly. Wine glasses break. Shards spray into gravy boat. Grandma's gums shredded and bleeding. Children wailing. Vomiting pumpkin pie. You need air. Freezing. Feeling faint from alcohol and tryptophan from turkey. You go face down into the snow. Blackout and dream that you're back at the original Thanksgiving. Grabbing a musket from a pilgrim, putting it into your mouth, and giving thanks that you'll never have to see these people again. But for now, we've got everything for your holiday get-together. From crispy croutons for stuffing to delightful turkey-shaped placemats. Making life a little easier. Shop at Kresge's Corner Market.
Very nice.
Good advice.
Very nice.
Grandma's bleeding gums.
Yeah.
Tradition.
Everything always bad happens to Grandma. Gets run over by a reindeer.
Sure.
Gums torn up.
Yeah, man. All that work, all that just give, die. That's it. That's the grandma's arc. Just terrible. I just remembered we're just as a Thanksgiving away from home. I had a few just on the road, but the one that was really weird, and this is 20 years ago. It was 2003, now that I think about it. I was touring with a band called Stereophonics, a Welsh band. And on Thanksgiving Day, we were in London, and they had a new single out, and they were shooting a video. And I just had to sit at the drum kit and pretend to play. So I appeared in one video. It's a song called Movie Star. And we were in this soundstage outside, just on the outskirts of town, and it was a really cold day, and it was drafty in the building, and it's just, video shoots are miserable. And it was Thanksgiving, which in London is called Thursday. But I'm aware of the fact that my wife and kids are with her aunt and uncle out in California. We lived in LA at the time. I didn't mention it. I mean, whatever. I'm not like a kid. What was I? I'm 38 years old, and I'm just going about my business, and I got to be in this video. And it was almost towards the end of the day there that one of the guys in the band, his wife Gail, came over to me, and she had this shattered look on her face. And I was like, is everything okay? She goes, I just realized it's Thanksgiving, isn't it? And I went, Yeah. She goes, I'm so sorry. It's terrible. And then she goes over and tells everyone, it's Thanksgiving and Steve's alone and we didn't even know. And being proper Welsh and English folk, they felt so guilt-ridden. Everybody immediately was like, we should have rescheduled the shoot. I'm like, what are you talking about? It's fine. And they went so over the top. They felt so bad. And I was like, every now and again, you Brits are okay. I mean, I felt good about it. And they were like, well, we'll go out for roast turkey tonight. We can find a place. I'm like, no, guys, really. I'm fine. I'm just a couple pints and a shepherd's pie will be great. Let's not get too concerned. But it really was funny because I had to talk like 7 people off the ledge. They felt so bad. They were like, we know it's all about family, isn't it, and football. I'm like, it's fine. Relax. By the end of the day, I was kind of like, yeah, that's nice. I get to hold that over them now. I can bring up Thanksgiving guilt for the rest of this tour.
And then later on that afternoon, a huge argument broke out, and you went, okay, now it feels like Thanksgiving.
That's exactly right.
Right, exactly. When it goes south.
Hey, Rudy, remind us about Sunday night. We got to bounce, but last chance to promote a roast of Santa Claus.
Yeah, the roast of Santa Claus happens at the House of Comedy. It is Sunday night, 7 p.m. Get your tickets. They're at houseofcomedy.net. They're on my website, rudypavichcomedy.com. Also, I'm going to be there Friday and Saturday. 2 shows Friday, 2 shows Saturday. Opening for the very funny Josh Blue.
Oh, yeah.
America's Got Talent. Yeah,
he's great.
Very funny guy. And then if you are going to be in the Fargo area, coming up on Thursday next week, there's about 20, I just looked, about 20 tickets left, but I'll be opening for Adam Carolla at the Fargo Theater in Fargo on the 30th. So thank you guys very much for letting me come in and hang. I love hanging out with you. It's always a blast.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, thank you, brother. It's always our pleasure. Hey, Rudy, you or anybody listening, if you miss any part of this show, you can always catch up with the KQ Morning Show podcast. Interviews, we hang out with our good friends like Rudy Pavich. Anywhere you get podcasts, anytime you want, you can find it. That podcast is, of course, sponsored by Candace.
Devani's
the
best.
Devani's Pizza and Hot Hoagies. So put that in your pipe and smoke it, or put it on your plate and eat it, whatever you prefer.
Yeah, I could go for a Devani's Hot Hoagie. Today, stretch the stomach for the big meal tomorrow. Joe Gatto, is that how you say it, you guys?
Correct.
Gatto? Oh, I get Gatto.
Gatto.
Joe Big Toe?
We got to get this right.
No, Candace and Tony jumped on Steve earlier, so I was going to try and screw it up. I tried to screw it up and got it right. That's the kind of name. Joe Gatto, very funny and practical jokers. You know him. We've had him on the show a bunch, and he's coming to town. He's been touring the world, going to be at the State Theater on December 9th, our guest at 9 o'clock. Hang tight.
It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS. Zep, Tony, Candace, and Steve Gorman are the KQ Morning Show. 92 KQRS.
Wednesday, Thanksgiving Eve, November the 22nd, 2023. That is 60 years to the day since the JFK assassination. Brian Zepp, quote of the day. There's something comforting about holiday crazy. It's special crazy. It certainly is. You're a poet. You don't know it, brother, because there is nothing more true than holiday special crazy. We've all endured it. We've all enjoyed it. A lot of stories so far today. The crazy is just out there, and there's something about the holidays that brings out the absolute best and the absolute worst in all of us.
It just does. I mean, it's like sensory overload. First of all, you take a little bit of stress. If there's any family drama, when the family gets together, there always seems to be one or some old grudge that gets kicked up, and then you add in a little bit of booze. Then you just add the fact that we're just a little overstimulated, right? And things just go sideways very quickly during the holidays. And I don't know. I guess if there wasn't some of that chaos included in the holidays, you don't want too much of it. A little goes a long way. It just wouldn't feel quite like the holidays, would it?
I don't think it would. We've got this entire week to deal with. You got people who are they're stressing over the meal that has to be prepared tomorrow. We're all, as a nation, think about it. We're going to gorge ourselves while watching football, while arguing with family members. People that 364 days a year we love to death, tomorrow they will turn into mortal enemies. It's just a part of the whole thing. And then you get through Thanksgiving, and then you have Friday, the day when when everybody goes out and loses their mind going out shopping. Whether even online it's stressful, but if you get out for Black Friday morning sales, you're announcing to the world, yes, I'm completely out of my mind. We're all stuffing ourselves with leftovers throughout the weekend, and then you wake up Monday and you're like, I'm glad that's behind me, and boom, staring you in the face is another full month of holiday insanity. And if you just want to add just the cherry on top, is that there's a small percentage of us, about 7% of us, who are allergic to a specific mold. And it's the mold that grows on Christmas trees if they get wet. I don't know about you guys, but I see those Christmas tree lots every year. And the weather being what it is in the month of November, December, I don't know if a Christmas tree can make it from the lot to your home without having gotten wet. And for 7% of us, that mold is something we're allergic to. And occasionally, somebody has a much more serious reaction than just say an itchy throat. A woman in Cleveland just bought, for the first time in her life, a real tree. Her name is Angela Presti. She's been using fake trees her whole life. Finally, takes her daughter out. They buy a real Christmas tree. They're sitting around. They're excited. They're going to decorate it. And within a few hours, her face started to swell up. She was rushed to the ER once she stopped breathing. She had apparently gone into anaphylactic shock. They had to give her a shot with one of those epinephrine pen things to save her. It's an absolutely true story. Christmas tree syndrome is out there, and it's real. Just in case you needed one more thing to maybe add to the stress table between now and the end of the year. And we can talk about this at length. But first of all, far more importantly, right now, Joe Gatto is on the horn with us. Joe is going to be at the State Theater December the 9th. And you know Joe, originally one of the Tenderloins with the TV show Impractical Jokers. He is the Ozzy Osbourne of the Black Sabbath. That is the Tenderloins. The man's on his own now. Joe Gatto's Night of Comedy coming to town soon. Joe, good morning, sir.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
We're great, man. It's a pleasure to chat with you. I've now referenced you, the Ozzy Osbourne of the Tenderloins, Black Sabbath. You went out on your own, and I would have to imagine, after being part of a troupe and a team, those early days of solo stand-up, they had to have been tough.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's the biggest transition that I had to deal with out of it all. It was not being part of a collaboration when you're creating or performing. That was definitely a thing, because I had been doing it with the guys since 1999. And to be out there the first time by yourself and be 100% responsible for the funny instead of just 25% and coasting along, that's a different story.
And it's clearly done very well. Your Night of Comedy tour is all over the place. And I mean, like, literally all over. You've got a lot of international dates coming up. That's got to feel pretty great, man. Australia, New Zealand. Have you been down there before? Because let me tell you something. That's far away, bro.
Yeah, I've heard. I've heard it's not a quick flight.
Check a map. You'll freak out. It's way over there.
I thought I was going to Canada. I had the map upside down.
Yeah.
I've never been over there. I'm really excited to go there, though. I haven't been there. There's a lot of comedy going to Australia right now, so to be part of that movement's really cool.
Yeah, that's pretty great. We've been talking about holiday stress this whole time. Thanksgiving, generally speaking, in your life, positive memories? Do your shoulders clench at all when I just say the word Thanksgiving?
No, I've been pretty fortunate, actually. You know, I've got a pretty good setup. I've grown up, but my in-laws live with me, so it's always Thanksgiving here at the house. They're always here.
Wow!
Yeah, I got a good relationship with them. I have suffered from Christmas tree syndrome, but besides that, I'm fine.
Nothing a little Benadryl won't fix. Benadryl and a prayer or two.
Right?
Yeah, sure. So you grew up on Staten Island, quite famously. Staten Island, the greatest mystery to anybody who's never been in the New York area. It just has such a reputation as being its own sort of planet. Does that check out, or is it far more a part of things than we are led to believe?
No, that checks out. Especially, well, growing up, for sure it did. I mean, anywhere you have to take a bridge to, it seems very magical. You're waiting for, like, a troll to collect a toll. But it's been very, and that's not a shot at Staten Island people. They're great people. There's no trolls over there. I'm one of them. But I think it was completely different that, like, in the sense of, like, it was very neighborhoody compared to where you lived, like, in Brooklyn or Manhattan. It was more just, there was more space. There was more yards. So growing up, I felt more like of a neighborhood, and that catches on like over here where I live out on Long Island now. Reminds me of that a little bit more, where there was just space in yards and kids playing in yards, instead of stickball in the street or things of that nature,
Sure. And is that where you still live?
I live out on Long Island now, yeah.
Out on Long Island. Okay, sorry.
Yeah. You emigrate from Staten Island, you either go to New Jersey or you go to Long Island, and that's where you end up, and I ended up here.
It makes perfect sense. Now, your show, you're at the State Theater December 9th. What can someone expect if they only know you from the troupe, from the Tenderloins, from Impractical Jokers? Are you a setup and punchline guy? You telling stories? Do you pull out a flute and blow our minds? What happens?
I have a 25-minute harmonica set, which is unbelievable.
Yes.
I do.
Blind Joey Gatto, the bluesman.
I just take suggestions from the audience and I improvise a 25-minute harmonica solo.
Excellent.
It's my true form of stand-up. I do, but I'm a storyteller for sure. I tell stories mostly about my crazy life that it's been and what a ride I've had, and everything that affects my life, including the guys I've been friends with them over 35 years, so I got plenty of stories of stuff, not just from the TV show, but life in general.
Sure.
And also being a father, growing up with an Italian crazy mother on Staten Island. All my adoptable dogs, of course, there's a lot of dog story stuff in there, but it's definitely a storytelling kind of thing.
Yeah, I just read you've got your nonprofit Gatto Pups and Friends, the adopt don't shop mindset. So how many dogs do you actually have that are personally your family dogs?
The Gatto Pups are 8 or 9, and the friends range anywhere from those are the ones that are getting out there to be adopted, and that could range from anywhere from depending on who's alive and who's around, because we adopt mostly senior dogs. So some will have for a while, some will just be given a home for the last couple of days, and that could be anywhere from 20 to 25.
Man, you have your family with you. Yeah, you need help with all those dogs, for crying out loud.
Yeah. It's a thing, but for sure it's great, man. We went, instead of just collecting old dogs, which we used to do, we figured let's try to get some adoptions going. So we just adopted out our 56th dog last weekend, which is great. It's been really, really rewarding, more than I thought, and it's been a lot of fun. They're all named after Italian desserts and pasta dishes because that's on brand for me. I got cannoli, biscotti, tartufo. I'm really fettuccine Alfredo. I got a whole.
So do you have a rule where you can never repeat? Like if you go through cycle, by the time you're on dog number 130, are you still going into an Italian cookbook to find new terms?
I'll tell you what, we had one that we had, and it came in really sick, and we named it, and we tried to keep it, and it died. The day that we only had a couple of days, it didn't pull through. So then we got one a couple of days later. We named it Meatball 2.
Right, there you go.
And Meatball 2. And then Meatball 2 didn't last, and we're like, it's the name. So we decided to stop repeating. We don't want to have anybody give them a loikia to any of these dogs coming in here.
Oh, my gosh, that's great. Yeah, I had my first dog as a kid was Cubby, and then Cubby was a bit aggressive. And then one day my parents were like, Cubby's at a farm now, which I believed, and I thought that was lovely. And then we replaced Cubby with Cubby 2. Not a lot of thinking going on in the family, but it worked. I get it.
Cubby 2, yes.
Yeah, we only had
the sequel.
Yeah, we only had 2 dogs to name, and we couldn't come up with a second name. So I give you a lot of credit for keeping that going. You are at the State Theater December 9th. CannoliProductions.com is a website anybody can go to for tickets. The Night of Comedy Tour is raging on. I'm looking at dates through the next forever, apparently, including, as I mentioned, Australia and New Zealand. That's got to be a pretty incredible thing for you to look at those dates. And then, like I said before, kind of kidding, but seriously, look at that map and think about where just being a funny guy that people can relate to and saw on a goofy show for years, where that's taken you. That's fantastic, man.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. It's not lost on me. I mean, I've been so fortunate. I've performed live comedy in all 50 states. That was a milestone I wanted to reach last year, and I was able to do it. I nailed Fargo, North Dakota as my last state I had to get to, so I did that. But it's been really great. People have received it, well, because I didn't play a character on the TV show. You watch the show, I'm Joe, that's me. If you come to watch me live, you're going to get more of me. And if you enjoyed it on TV, you'll enjoy it in real life. So I'm very fortunate and super happy for people that come out. We've been having lots of fun.
Well, here in the Twin Cities, we would suggest if you're going to see all 50 states, save North Dakota for the last. You're not going to miss anything. So, but that leads me to, of your favorite state to ever perform in, why is it Minnesota?
Because the people.
See?
The people. They just make assumptions that they're the favorite, and they just go with it.
Yep. See, there's a pro. There's a pro for you, ladies and gentlemen, right there. Joe Gatto, you're at the state. It's December 12th. CannoliProductions.com/tour. Well, come on. That's just beautiful.
Just go to Joe Gatto Official.
Oh, even better. Joe, that is more. But I love the idea. I'm hungry right now, so I'm sorry. I'm going to the other one. JoeGattoOfficial.com. Get tickets to see it. All the best, man. It's always a pleasure. Cheers.
I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
You got it. You could do a lot worse than just rescuing senior dogs by the dozen and finding new homes for them, honestly.
He's so funny. He was so fearless on Jokers.
Yeah, he was, but for some reason you always felt empathy, sympathy, what's the word I'm looking for here, for him. You knew that he was going to do it and go in face first and whatever they had dared him to do, whatever challenge they had laid down for him. But you kind of felt sorry for him. You're like, oh, no, not Joe. Yeah, good stuff. I love it.
He's doing just fine on the back end. My man is literally circling the globe right now on tour. Tony, before we hit a break, you've got a little Thanksgiving message for us, I believe.
Yeah, it's simple. We just we gently encourage you to do the right thing this holiday gathering.
A turkey's journey to the local grocery store is barbaric and impersonal. That's why at Humane Farms, all the turkeys die of natural causes. Some may be feeble and elderly, riddled with disease, or suffering from heinous injuries, but rather than the barbaric destruction commonly practiced at many processing plants, they pass peacefully in their sleep. After they expire, they're given a brief eulogy, and after a religiously neutral, non-denominational ceremony, they're quickly frozen and shipped to one of our Humane Farms kiosks in a mall near you. Do the right thing this Thanksgiving. Serve up a bird that lived a full life and went when it was its time to go.
I can't chew this. I feel like I'm eating fabric. These bones just dissolved into powder.
I think I just bit into a lesion.
Honey, are you all right?
Oh, God.
Honey?
Humane Farms. When it's time to say goodbye, it's time to eat.
Oh, there's never been a better use of the word fabric ever.
No, that reminds me one, old farm story here. It sounds like I grew up on a farm in the 19th century, but we had turkeys on the farm, those ones that just wander around. We never stocked turkeys. They were just around, like they're in the backyards here in Minneapolis. And so Dad's like, yeah, go out there and kill us a turkey for Thanksgiving, boys. We're at that age now we can pick out our own turkey. Well, we're lazy, and we're teenagers, and we go out and we just find the one that just doesn't run very fast, can't go very far. I think it might have only had one leg that worked. It was kind of hopping around. A very old bird. And Mom had told us, now look for this kind of bird. Want to pick one out? And we bring this old bird in. And I'll never forget sitting around the table as we just kept chewing and chewing like we had a big mouth of Bubblicious, but without all the spit. More water, please. Can I get some more water over here? Just a bit more water. And, that was one dry bird. I'm sure we doubled up on the ham that year for sure. All right, sports and music history. Maybe another Tony bit. Can I get greedy here? One more out of you before we call it quits here. On Drinksgiving with the KQ Morning Show. Hang tight.
It's the KQ Morning Show. 92 KQRS.
I'm Steve Gorman. This is the KQ Morning Show. We are certainly hoping everybody has a wonderful, wonderful holiday weekend. I'm looking very forward to it. It's great to have the kids at home. It's just we make a lot of fun about Thanksgiving because there's a lot of things to make fun of. But at the end of the day, hey, we're all together. And, it's like the sign says or the quilt says or the thing in the background of all the pictures my cousin takes. We were together. I forgot the rest. That's ultimately what kind of how it goes, right?
Nice. Yeah.
It is very nice. It is very nice. This is good, Candace. A buddy of mine found out when he was 12 years old that he had celebrated the wrong birthday his whole life. He was born in the very early minutes of August 21st, but his mom had been in labor through the whole day of August 20th. And literally, at 12 years old, when his family was going to take a trip, they went to find his passport. They pulled out his birth certificate, and they realized he was born at like 12:01 on the 21st, and they had celebrated his birthday on the 20th. For 12 years. And then so his birthday suddenly went from 8/20 to 8/21. Well, do you know the pop star Lana Del Rey?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Love her.
Lana Del Rey has celebrated her birthday. She has spent her whole life as a Gemini, and she just found out she's actually a Cancer. She was 4 hours short. Her birthday falls right on the, I guess the word would be cusp of a new astrological sign. She's got all this gold jewelry, spent her whole life thinking Gemini and imagining herself personally. She said, I've lived my life as a Gemini. Then I found out I was 4 hours short. I threw out all of my 14-karat gold twin Gemini pendants.
Threw it out? Like
threw
in
it
the garbage?
out, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what you want to do with it.
That sounds weird.
Sounds like something a Cancer would do.
And then she said, I feel like I identify with Cancer qualities. I've got lots of crabs and diamonds. I've got a go bag. I've got a truck. I carry everything I have with me on like a little crab. I'm a total crab. Okay, seriously? Just stop.
I just read about her this morning, and because she hadn't been nominated for Grammys and music awards and stuff, she said, I didn't realize you had to submit to be nominated.
I liked the period at submit. I didn't realize you had to submit.
That's actually, very, very accurate statement right there. One other final note. Remember the band, the Brian Jonestown Massacre?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Portland, Oregon. They're featured in that amazing movie called Dig. They're on tour, or I should say they were until last night in Melbourne, Australia, when a band fight broke out mid-set. 6 songs in, the singer and the guitarist literally started whipping the snot out of each other.
What?
It's all over the internet now. I just saw it during the break. The tour's been canceled, and I don't mean like cussing each other out, Felder and Fry era. I'm talking punches thrown, chokeholds, guitars being swung. They went for it in the middle of a show in Melbourne. And so if you have tickets to see the Brian Jonestown Massacre anytime, you might want to think about trading those back in.
What's the kind of thing that would set a band off on stage that savagely? I mean, this wasn't, hey, man, you stepped on my guitar chord or you came in late or something like that. This is
years
going on?
This is years of narcissism and drug use. Yeah.
Well, Sabotage is only about 3 years in, so you won't see anything too crazy tonight, but
I like that segue. Sabotage rocking tonight. Where's the gig, Candace?
Route 47 in Fridley, the old pickle park.
And what time? What time is, as they say, what time is downbeat?
So we play at 8. The doors are at 6. It's a door-only show, $20 at the door. So I do recommend getting there early and having some dinner and just, prep that turkey, get it all done, head out to Fridley and rock with us. And Rock Show is the main act, and they're awesome.
When I was a younger man, before I would go out for the night, I would prep the turkey, and it had a whole different meaning. Speaking of which, Tony, do we have another little Thanksgiving offering?
Yeah, we can do that if that would please you.
It would please us all.
Well, if the darkness comes a-creeping this family gathering, know that you're not alone.
It's Thanksgiving. Time to gather for the feast. See the faces you have to see once a year. Awkward conversation. Old wounds surface. Tension and resentment builds as drinks flow. Judgment and ridicule over your low-paying job, relationship failures, and weight issues. Political arguments. Fists fly. Wine glasses break. Shards spray into gravy boat. Grandma's gums shredded and bleeding. Children wailing. Vomiting pumpkin pie. You need air. Freezing. Feeling faint from alcohol and tryptophan from turkey. You go face down into the snow. Blackout and dream that you're back at the original Thanksgiving. Grabbing a musket from a pilgrim, putting it into your mouth, and giving thanks that you'll never have to see these people again. But for now, we've got everything for your holiday get-together. From crispy croutons for stuffing to delightful turkey-shaped placemats. Making life a little easier. Shop at Kresge's Corner Market.
Fantastic.
Happy holidays.
It's beautiful. That build-up, it's like a day in the life as that orchestral swirl is just getting darker and weirder, and all of a sudden it just comes out, and now we're happy again, and we're bouncing along. That's fantastic.
The KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS.